Okay, we're back with the conclusion. So we looked at the introduction, we looked at our body paragraphs, and now we're going to talk a little bit about how to write a really good conclusion. The concluding paragraph, you will be happy to know, is the shortest paragraph of the essay, generally speaking. So while I would like to see 5 to 7 sentences in all of the other paragraphs, it's okay to do 3 to 5 sentences in your conclusion, at least to get started. Obviously, as you get older and start writing more in-depth and detailed essays, all of these paragraph sizes will increase. So let's talk about the conclusion. First of all, you can see the shape is the opposite of our introduction. So what that indicates is that instead of going from a large, broad idea to a very narrow thesis statement, we're going to talk in the conclusion from a very narrow point, which is, again, that thesis idea, and go out into something very big and broad. Okay, so I've written a concluding paragraph so that you can kind of get an example of how this would look. And there are 3 parts basically to the conclusion. You're going to restate your thesis elements. You're going to apply the ideas to a wider topic. And then you're going to provide what we call a call to action. What that basically does is leave your reader with a plan or a job or a let's go change the world kind of idea. Okay. So I've taken the webcam off because obviously there's a lot of writing here and I want you to be able to see it. But let's take each section separately. So when I say restate your thesis elements, I don't mean say, rural communities are going to have education, food scarcity, and medical access problems. Okay, that's, re-saying the same thing, not restating. If you restate something, you change it up. Okay, you want to use different vocabulary. So look at the red part in this. It says, in a small village like Hutup, the impact of the COVID pandemic will be seen in the coming years. Student dropout rates will increase. Injury and brain development will be affected by increased malnutrition, and the real number of deaths caused due to the lack of quality medical care for all illnesses can be quantified. So you can see that the ideas from the thesis are still here. I've just put in some different language. So student dropout rates will increase. That's an effect on education. Injury and brain development based on because of malnutrition. Malnutrition is another word for food scarcity. Okay. And deaths caused due to a lack of quality medical care. Okay. So I said lack of medical care as opposed to access to medical care. But I did it in a way that still keeps the meaning alive, but just uses different words. Okay. So then we need to, again, we're going out instead of in. So we need to apply these ideas to a broader concept. So we've got small village, Hutup, very narrow. Now we're going to go back to India. Okay. India needs to focus on resources, on its focus resources on rural areas, as well as reach out to other countries facing similar challenges. Okay. So now I've said, these are the challenges, restated those. What does India need to do? Okay, so I've broadened it out to from the village to this is now a nationwide issue. And then I need to leave my reader with a plan or a job, a call to action. If India and the world are to come out of this pandemic stronger, it is essential to address the inadequacies of rural and urban communities. So what we, instead of inadequacies, let's do inequalities. That's a better word. Okay. So this is, even my brain, I'm thinking, I come up with new words. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to change things, right? This is how we learn. So I read that word and I realized that wasn't really what I wanted to say. I wanted to say inequalities. So I used some big words here and I want to just talk about that. A way to make your essay stronger is to use a lot of different vocabulary.